fine. We're all fine here. No, thanks. How are you?
You can really feel how separate the fans look at the EU.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting because in Marvel, one of the biggest parts of Marvel and in the comics is that there's all these multiverses and that there's all these different, it's like the same character, but there's like 20 different versions of them. And it's celebrated, and it's not that one's better than the other or that one's really Marvel and one's not Marvel. It's just, it just is. But in Star Wars, it's like, oh, well, there's canon, and then there's legends. And it's like, I don't understand why it's like that. Like, why can't it just be like a multiverse?
I'm
like
glad you brought
that viewpoint. Not that it's a separate universe.
It is.
Like,
it is, and that's the point, and that's what people don't understand is like you guys are arguing over something that's, it's such an easy answer.
Like it's
just, like that's how I've come to think about it.
Yeah.
That's how I've come to accept the as much as I may not have liked what how things went down in the sequels, I respect it as its own universe. Yeah. It's an alternate timeline.
It's like its own timeline. Yeah.
Because you can't like as much as you love the sequels, which is fine if you do. I'm I'm in no way or am I ever going to like shame anyone for liking them. Like
if you like them, like them.
And honestly, I like them for what they are.
Yeah.
But the only reason I don't love them or like I'm in love with what happened was because I grew up with these other stories. Like
you
I
already knew what happened.
It's like imagine growing up with the Harry Potter books and like who Harry Potter is, you visualized him, you understand his heart, his soul, what drives him, what inspires him, what inspires you of him, what of his qualities inspire you and keep you going.
Yeah.
And then if they made the movies and he was like a completely different character or acted a completely different way.
What if Harry was like Draco?
Exactly.
It's like...
It's just, it's obviously, I'm not going to go into like super like exactly, if you did this and this.
You grew up with it one way.
Just think about it if it was different.
Yeah.
Just think about it like that. It's going to bother you.
Yeah.
It's going to...
feel off.
It's going to feel off. It's like, but that's not it.
Yeah.
So that, and because of that, that's why I've come to think about it exactly how you were saying it is, and also because I grew up reading a lot of Marvel and a lot of, those stories that
other fandoms
involve multiverses and alternate timelines and variants and all this, I just came to think of it as like, okay, there's the current canon timeline, and then there's the original Legends timeline.
Yeah.
Which, and I just enjoy the different.
Yeah, you're
Star
not
Wars
comparing
timelines
the
separately.
two. You're not
exactly. No, I don't compare them anymore.
Because they're two separate things.
Exactly. It's like, that's how I live with it.
Yeah.
That's how I think about it. That's how I
and you can enjoy both.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be one or the other, which I feel like a lot of the toxicity in the fandom, I think, comes from that. It has to be one, or one is better than the other.
And that's what I've noticed is like a lot.
Why does it have to be like that?
Like a lot of people, like, look, I totally understand because there are a lot of people that hate the sequels that don't have a filter and don't know how to communicate
just nasty online.
Exactly what they're thinking, and they'll throw around like blanket statements or like things that they don't think before they say it.
And it's very aggressive. And it's not like, this is my opinion. Exactly. I think this. It's like, if you don't agree with me, you're an idiot. And it's like, no, that's not how we communicate with each other.
Exactly. But that goes for both sides.
Exactly.
And that's the problem that we see, especially on Twitter, is people are upset about something, and whether they're being confrontational about it or not, what people don't understand is text is you're never going to get your proper emotions,
your sentiment,
your proper sentiment through text.
No.
And that's all Twitter and Instagram and all these social media platforms are.
Yeah, it's like two sentences.
It's like you're texting.
Yeah.
It's like if you're texting your friend and he said something sarcastically, but you took it like he's angry and offended. That's literally all Twitter is, and it's the entire world on there.
Oh God, yeah.
That doesn't know how to communicate what they're feeling or thinking, and then it's someone else reading it and saying, "Oh, this is what they said," or whatever. It's just like a cycle.
Assuming things.
Like assuming.
Yeah.
And I don't want to get negative at all on here. It's just like, I also think it's important that we kind of like, talk about how, even if you are like pointing out a certain toxic fan or a toxic part of the fandom, if you go on there mocking, if you go on there
belittling, calling names.
Can you pull up that screenshot I sent in, and we'll block out the name, like the handle. Go up. It was right there. Go up. That one. Yeah. So double click it so you can see it. All right. So this is another podcaster that I respect, and I see his stuff on Twitter a lot, but sometimes, and this is just an example. It's not like he's the only person.
No, yeah. That
does things like this, and what I always try to do is, like, I always try to understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna get emotional about something. It's Twitter. I don't care.
Yeah.
Right. But it's like, if you're really looking at it, if you're really looking at the Star Wars fandom, or any fandom in that matter, but specifically the Star Wars fandom, like, there's all these people getting, like, if they're like, oh, I didn't like this, there's people that get upset that they didn't like it, or upset that this other person is upset, and it's like, okay, who cares? Let him be upset. You're not following them. You're not listening to their stuff. You're not watching their stuff.
And you don't have to.
You don't have to. Leave them alone. If they don't like it, ignore them. You like it, enjoy it.
Yeah. Find fans who like it and talk to them about how you like it.
So here we go. So so the first tweet was from a couple days. So I saw this like a couple days in, right? So the first one goes, ew, color, like, mocking, right? Ew, colorful shiny vehicles in Star Wars? Really? That's the complaint? And then he included a picture of, like, the Naboo starfighter, the speeder that Zam Wessel flies in Episode 2, the speeder that Anakin and Obi-Wan chase her in, and then the Naboo cruise liner, right?
Yeah.
And then, so it's like, okay, you're like, I understand what you're saying. So this person is upset that all these people were upset about the Vespas, the Mos Vespas, right?
Yes.
Like, because that was a lot of people's complaints. Oh, they're too colorful or whatever, and which we did talk about in the first episode or last week's episode, how respectfully, and I enjoyed the characters. I appreciate the callback, the homage to American Graffiti. Like, I appreciate the inspiration, and I know what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
But personally, it just didn't feel like it belonged on Tatooine.
Yeah.
And that's the distinction, is that I don't feel like it belonged in Tatooine. I think it's very Star Wars.
Yeah.
I could see it on Coruscant. I could see it on Nar Shaddaa or somewhere like Corellia. But it feels off on Tatooine. That's it. That's the only, like, comment that I had, and I saw a lot of other people having, but they were communicating it in a very confrontational way, which I understand. That's not how you should be talking or how you should be expressing your views. And if it is, and you're one of those people that has a problem with people talking like that, or you don't like people, if you see that as a negative tweet or a comment, it's like, just ignore them. That's what I do. Like, I just ignore people. It's like, I literally grew up with so many people talking trash, like, oh, you like Star Wars, you nerd?
Yeah.
It's like, what do you think I did?
Yeah.
I ignored them.
You weren't like, well, I guess I'm never gonna enjoy Star Wars ever again because this guy doesn't like
I
it.
ignored them, or if it got bad, I'd square up because they'd square up, and it's like, back it up.
Yeah.
But none of these people back, like, they're never gonna say anything to your face.
Oh no,
like,
absolutely
like
not.
the things they say on Twitter, they would never say to your face.
Like, meet me at Star Wars Celebration at the panel stage, 3 p.m. and
Am
let's
I
go.
wrong? Am I wrong?
Let's go.
Exactly, but you see what I mean? It's
No,
like people just talk, and like that's why it's so like.
See, that's an ego problem. that is a inside here problem.
Yeah. But you see what I mean, though? It's like.
Yeah.
And that continues the cycle. It's like the toxicity comes from both sides of the fandom. Because it's not just the sequel haters. Yeah. It's not just the sequel lovers. It's not just, it's
not you being upset, you being rude because someone else was rude still makes you rude.
Yeah, you are becoming the very thing you swore to destroy.
Did we not learn that? Did we not learn that in episode 3?
That's the whole
point of Star Wars.
No, but exactly.
I mean,
that is what's so frustrating to see, because it's like, okay, we're all here for the same thing, and
we all love Star Wars.
Yes, exactly. We all love
That's
Star
why
Wars.
we're here.
And there is a lesson. There is a huge lesson that Star Wars teaches us, and everyone seems to just forget it when they go onto the internet.
Yeah, with things that are not
with
even
things
important.
That don't matter. Like people will be like, "Oh, that really upset me," because it shouldn't be in Star Wars or whatever, right? As an example, and then someone else will come in and be like, "Well, you're dumb for thinking that," and like closed-minded and whatever, and then the original poster will respond in an equal or more
aggressive,
aggressively. And then they'll respond and be like, "Why do you care so much? It's fake."
Oh my god!
And it's
don't get me started on that comment.
Why do you care that I'm commenting then?
Yeah, why have you responded 4 times?
Exactly.
If you don't care and it's not important.
But you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, we're going on this huge tangent. But what the point I was trying to make? So can you pull up that tweet one more time? Sorry, we keep going off. So that's a quick background. So people were complaining about the Vespas, and he was like, "Ew, colorful, shiny vehicles in Star Wars? Really? That's the complaint?" So it's like you're mocking them. Like there's no debating that.
There's
you're
no
mocking,
conversation to be had.
Exactly.
It's literally just we're gonna fight.
Exactly. You're not having a conversation with the people that you are making fun of, nor are you trying to figure out or understand why they feel that certain way. You are just seeing, oh, they don't like this, I'm going to poke the bear.
Exactly.
And because it's funny that they don't like it, and because they don't like it, now I like it.
They're going to poke the Wookiee.
They're poking the Wookiee.
You know what happens when you mess with a Wookiee? Exactly.
Look at the Trandoshan.
Perfect example.
But you know what I mean? Okay, so anyway, he tweets that, "Ew, colorful shiny vehicles in Star Wars, really? That's the complaint." So he's mocking, right? And then the next day, the very next day, you don't have to like the Vespa gang, but you also don't have to be a jerk about it. Everybody has different things they do and don't like about Star Wars. I can't believe I'm still saying this. Who are you telling?
Yeah.
Who are you telling?
Take your own advice.
Who are you telling? Like, exactly, man.
Yeah. Like, okay.
Exactly.
What he could have done is he could have referenced these photos and he could have said something like, "I think it's interesting that so many people are upset about colorful vehicles because we have seen colorful vehicles in Star Wars in the past, and here are some examples." See, that's how you can have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
You can talk about it. You can literally say, "I don't understand what the big deal is." You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But it's leaving it
Have
open
a
to a healthy conversation, and it's not aggressive. But when you start something with "you," really,
the first sentence is mocking the people that are complaining.
It's not. There's no way this can end well.
Which I'm also not standing by the people complaining.
No.
Because they are also not communicating in the ways that they should be.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you are so against the toxicity in the fandom, if you are so against it, it starts with you.
Don't tweet
Don't
stuff that you know
perpetuate it.
people are gonna get all riled up
Exactly,
about.
because I went through the comments, and I could, I can show you later.
Yeah.
It was not pretty.
Of
Like,
course
there were
not.
people on there, like, upset.
And that's why they say stuff
that's
like
why they say
this,
stuff like this,
because it
'cause
gets interactions.
I mean, I get it, but it's like, don't act all high and mighty
Exactly.
when you know exactly what you're doing. But
Yeah.
but I give everyone, because there's a lot of people that do this, a lot of influential people, a lot of people that I look up to in the podcasting world, in the Star Wars world, and it's fine, but only because I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt of, I don't think they realize it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I think that
They
that
have good
sometimes they have
intentions.
good intentions, but also they don't see that they're doing the same thing, just on the opposite side.
Yeah.
And that's what makes me sad,
Yeah.
because I know that the fandom can get very toxic.
Yeah.
I know it can get very, very toxic.
We've seen that.
We've seen that. And unfortunately, we've seen a lot of actors and actresses,
Leave the acting world.
be
because
extremely
of,
affected
Yeah.
by it,
Yeah.
and that is never tolerable.
No.
Should never be tolerable, and never have I seen it as something that, like, oh, good job that you. No, of course not.
You
No one's gonna
ruined their
applaud
life. Good job.
you.
Yeah.
So it's like, but one side of the fandom will always be like, oh, well, it was because of them, and then the other side will be like, oh, it was because of them. So
Yeah.
no, it's everyone.
We need to learn to better communicate
Exactly.
our emotions and our feelings, and realize that, like, honestly, you can just start the sentence with, I feel like this.
You just
and
don't
then
have
you
to
can
mock
say
people.
whatever you want.
Exactly. You just
But
don't-
you shouldn't say, this is the way it is.
Yeah.
This is the only way it is. And if you don't agree with me, you're an idiot.
But it's
like,
not just that.
what kind of conversation is that going to start?
What they're saying, it's not that you're an idiot if you think this. It's what you think is irrelevant.
Yeah.
What you believe is irrelevant. And I
Yeah.
see that a lot with people that try to, I guess, debunk, people who are fans of the EU's opinion.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh, well, you like the EU? Well, none of that is canon, so it's irrelevant, and you're irrelevant.
Yeah. It's like,
And I see a lot of that, and it's like, okay, no, like I understand
Yeah.
that this person may have said, oh, Ray is a Mary Sue or something,
yeah. Some
which is
stupid comment. Yeah.
I'm not going to stand by either.
Yeah.
But you're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You are both doing the same thing. Instead of going, why do you think that?
Yeah. Can you
Put
elaborate
the ball
on that?
in their court.
Yeah.
And if they can't explain it, because most of the time they can't.
Yeah, that happens to me all the time on TikTok.
What's funny is, like, you just have to make them feel dumb.
like, okay,
but
so you're so
not-
right.
not-
Let's hear it.
Don't be like, you're dumb.
No, just be
It's
like, can you explain why you feel that way?
Yeah. But who knows? It's like, maybe you won't, because the problem is you are also not opening yourself up to understanding
Or changing your opinion.
And it's not that anyone needs to, but it's like, that's part of the conversation.
That's part of having a discussion.
That's part of having a
is
discussion. That's
listening,
part of-
not just waiting for them to stop talking so you can
Exactly.
get your 2 cents in.
And if someone's just impossible, ignore them.
yeah, please
Ignore them.
Please do not go on a comment chain for 4.5 hours trying to argue with someone who will never change their mind. Nobody wins.
Why do you think I don't respond to these tweets?
Like, you don't win by getting the last tweet in.
No,
You
yeah.
don't win. No one wins. You're miserable. You're frustrated, and
Yeah.
you're upset. And that's not the point of Star Wars.
No, exactly. It's just exactly. I think that the main takeaway is, like, if there's something you don't like, you can voice it
Yeah, respectfully.
respectfully. If there's someone you don't like,
Ignore them. Unfollow.
unfollow them.
Mute. Block if you need to.
Because if you're retweeting their tweets, if you're retweeting their screenshot, if you're tweeting screenshots of what they said on their stories, if you're, you know what I'm talking about.
You're giving them more
There's
attention.
no such thing as bad publicity.
Yeah.
And that goes for everywhere, especially Twitter.
Oh yeah, that's how Twitter works.
You know? So,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I feel like we talked about this for a long time. But it was definitely something I wanted
Yeah.
to talk about because
Yeah.
unfortunately, it's something that I've seen for years now. Is not just like recently.
This is nothing
like,
new. Yeah.
I've seen it for years now. How people just perpetuate
The
that
cycle of.
and it's
yeah.
like I just don't want to see any of my fellow fans doing this to themselves or each other.
Yeah.
It's not something I want to see in our fandom, because this is our people. This is like that's how I truly
It's
feel.
like our family.
When we go to celebrations, like this is our family. These are our people. Everyone here is for the same thing, and you know, we're here to enjoy Star Wars. We're here to have fun with each other. It's like
Yeah.
you talk to people in the queues. You talk to people all over Celebration, and it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from,
Yeah.
what language you speak. You're gonna bond over Star Wars and
Yeah.
have a good time.
Yeah.
And what's funny too is like at Celebration you'll see people being civilized.
Yeah.
At Celebration you'll see like
Because
okay, yeah,
they're in person.
because they're
they
in
have
person
to back up
and
their
they're not
words.
gonna- and they exactly. So that's what I
Yeah.
think is funny, honestly. But you know, we can move on. But I think it's definitely something that as fans we need to keep in mind,
Yeah.
that it's not just one side.
Yeah.
It's both sides. It's up to
It's
you.
also how you react.
It's also how you
to
react.
what people are doing and saying.
And if someone said something horrible, you don't need to give them the attention.
Yeah.
You don't need to give them the attention.
Yeah,
They
just
don't deserve it.
Move along.
If people are being nasty, they don't deserve the attention, and all you're doing is giving them attention.
And every time you give them attention, they want to do it more.
Exactly.
Because they're
Exactly.
getting attention.
What looks better? A really nasty tweet with like 100,000 likes and retweets and comments, but everyone's like, "Oh, I disagree."
Yeah.
Also in a disrespectful way, or
Yeah.
a really nasty tweet with 0 likes, 0 retweets, and 0 comments.
Exactly.
They're gonna delete their account.
Yeah.
Come on.
They're gonna be like, oh.
If you're retweeting their
embarrassed.
stuff and like, "Oh, look at this idiot," they're just gonna keep posting it because they just
It
got
gives them like a will to live.
because they just got 5,000 followers because you retweeted them and said they were toxic, and then all these other people that agree with them
like
and hate
turn
you.
on post notifications
Exactly.
so I can roast them. Yeah. Please just
That's all I'll say.
do better,
Do better.
everybody.
And if you guys, you know, think differently, you know, let us know. Comment below. Let us know what you think. You know, what's going on with the fandom. How you think. You know, your process of how you think about these sort of things.
Yeah.
We'd love to know, honestly, because it's a cycle that I really don't like to see, because I know we're better than that.
And the fans all deserve to enjoy Star Wars and voice their opinions and have discussions that are healthy and fun, and maybe you change your mind. I've changed my mind on a lot of stuff in Star Wars and in other aspects of my life.
Yeah, it's not just Star Wars. It's across the board.
Yeah.
But we're speaking strictly
Right
about
now,
Star Wars.
Star Wars, but yeah, that's that. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed that highlight. If you want to check out some other highlights, you can check them out over here, or you can watch the entire episode right here. And you can also subscribe down below, keep up with us throughout the week, and we'll see you on the next one.